We sure do. That's your job.
Yeah, I will.
I run
Welcome
the
everybody. Welcome everybody to let's just say it, the best damn vape show on the internet right here. I almost said four nobodies talking vape, dude. That would have been hilarious.
Well, we kind of are that too.
Yeah, we are that kind of as well. All right, let me lower the all right. This is the Wednesday Night Live with my co-host. I'm going to do them in the order they're lined up with. Brian. Hello, Brian. That's enough. Don't say anything else. Tim. Hello, Tim. And Tommy boy down there. Hello, Tom.
We're number one.
We're number one. And our member spotlight tonight is Alex. Hello, Alex.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Alex.
Alex has stayed up all day and all night. It's what, like 3 a.m. there?
Yeah, it's 3 a.m. for me.
Yeah, 3 a.m. to come on to do the member spotlight and also give us the lifestyle of the vapor there in Austria. Correct, right? I said you're in Austria. I wanted to make sure. Austria.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that off there. So Brian, I'm sorry. So Alex, tell us.
Mistake number one.
You're number one.
Where's that counter, Tom?
Yeah,
I got it. Don't worry.
You got the counter. You're gonna count out any mistakes I made today.
Yeah.
Alex, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into vaping and were smoker, first device, stuff like that. Take it over
and go.
All right. I'm Alex. I'm 22 years old. In Austria, the laws are very different to America. Like a few years ago, you were allowed to smoke at the age of 16. I don't know if it's the same in America.
At 21 now. When
21 now, okay.
Yeah,
it
was 18.
Yeah, when me and Tim were younger, it used to be 16.
Correct.
Okay. So when I was like 15 or so, I started smoking because it was cool, And then like 3 years later, bought my first e-cigarette. This was something from, I don't remember, a Rolltech or something, some cheap as Clearomizer. And that's when I started to enjoy the different flavors of from tobacco cigarettes. Then, it was some kind of on and off relationship between me and vaping. I dropped back to cigarettes a few times, but now I'm like a full-time vapor for like 4 years now.
4 years.
Awesome.
4 years ago when you started vaping, I'm sure you're young, so you were going to clubs and stuff like that. So did you notice more people vaping at those clubs, or was everyone still kind of with the cigarettes?
It depends on where you would go. I mean, okay. I'm from Carinthia in Austria, Lower Austria. The clubs here are very small. You'd never see like 100 people in the same club. Okay. And so there are more smokers, but when you go to, let's say, Vienna, you'll find even more vapors than smokers nowadays.
Oh wow! Nowadays, you'd see more more people vaping than smoking.
Yes. Even though our laws are very fucked up in Austria, you're not allowed to make any commercials for vaping. Right. You're not even allowed to post things on Facebook for your own shop.
Are you allowed to be here?
I'm allowed to be here.
I don't want to see tomorrow. We don't see you for like 2 weeks. Alex was arrested. Alex was arrested for having Red Bull and vaping.
And also, if you go to a vape shop, your local vape shop, like I do, you'll never find your liquids with nicotine. They're always 0 milligrams of nicotine.
Yeah. So you have to buy the nicotine separate.
Yeah, you have to buy the nicotine and the base. So if you're like going out and buy some 120 milliliter bottle, there's only like 5 to 10 milliliters of aroma in there. Okay. And then you're going to go and buy some base juice and some nicotine shots.
Oh, wow.
So you can regulate it.
So all you're buying at the vape shop is just flavor?
Yes, that's true.
Wow, that is, and I've seen some of the shops over there, and they're very cool. A lot of the shops I saw, they almost look like the old bars. You guys know what I'm talking about? They're all wood. Yeah, they're just beautifully done. I mean, they're just like you're walking into a. For us, it would be like a 1950s bar. Just all this wood and everything's just really, and not like here where it's just like So yeah, that's pretty cool, but that's got to be difficult to now does the shop itself sell the rest of the stuff you need, or do you have to go elsewhere?
No, they can sell this.
They can
separately.
sell as long as they're selling it separately. So when
I
you
think
do
the regulation for the nicotine shots are 10 milliliter bottles and the maximum strength of 18 milligrams per milliliter. So it's
your max is 18.
Yes.
Okay. See, that's what we started. Tim, you started at 18, 24?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, because that's really what they sold. I mean, I think it was like 20, it was like 36, 24, 18, maybe 12. But I mean, 3 and 6 were sort of unheard of. But I mean, I didn't even know about that. And when I first started vaping, like with John, my first kit was one of those little blue kits, the Cigalikes and stuff like that. Now, I guess when I started to notice vaping becoming a little bit more popular was when I was over in Spain. And in Spain, they had a lot of vape shops, but they weren't like classic, like old school kind of like cigarette bars like what you're talking about. They were like boutiques, and they had the little twist pens, the Ego style stuff, and they all had bling on them. And, it looked like you're walking into a cell phone store, basically.
Yeah.
And the next thing in Austria or in Europe as a whole, there are no online shops. No single legal online shop where you can get your vape stuff from. I have one shop that's from the Netherlands. That's all. You're not able to buy anything online.
In Austria, or can you order online outside of Austria?
I've seen some online shops from the UK who are shipping to Europe, but inside Europe, you're not gonna find any reliable vape shops.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. And you are limited also to tank size? Is it to 2 millimeters?
Yeah, I think it's 2 milliliters, yeah.
You're not vaping a sub-ohm tank anyway, but...
No.
And that's the other thing that I've noticed with a lot of the UK. You're either a mech user or you are a high-end mouth-to-lung user. There's like no middle ground there.
There's no gray.
There is no. It's like either you're a high-end mech. Well, mechs are going to be high-end there because you guys are paying a lot of money to get mechs there.
Yes.
Even the Chinese brands are costing you quite a bit of money to get shipped there, correct?
Yeah, that's mostly correct. Yeah. So if I go to my local vape shop and say I want this purge mod or something, there's no fee for the import or something, so they can regulate a little bit, but still it's pretty expensive.
Do you have to I know a couple places do, but do you have to pay a tax on that item when it comes in?
Well, it's just the normal tax that's on every product in Austria, but there's no special tax on vaping. Yeah. It's like the same tax as nicotine or cigarettes.
Yeah, because who else? I think is that Australia? I think that does that.
What,
guys? Like if you live in Australia and you buy something and it's shipped in there, you have to pay this tax on that item to actually pick it up.
I have no idea.
I'm not sure about that specifically. It could be that they have some kind of a duty tax that has to be paid in order to get the package transferred. Sometimes it also matters too, depending on how the shipper handles it, right? So the shipper can send it thinking they prepaid all the duties and taxes, and then of course you're paying for that and reimbursing them. But once it hits the postal system in that recipient country, they could reassess it and say, oh, well, in order to come get this, you need to pay $25 or $30 or something like that. I've seen it happen with lots of different things. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I ordered.
You will
stuff
find
from-
this in Austria as well. So it depends on the value of the item, what you're ordering. Like I had to pay like $50 on a new smartphone I ordered from China. It never happened to vape stuff, I've got to say. So
Oh, that's good. That's kind of good.
Yeah.
Spending an extra 50 on a smartphone is that you're already paying a good amount of money for is kind of
it kind of sucks.
Yeah, and as far as flavors, it's nonstop, right? I mean, you're just loaded with everything, aren't you guys? Or
yes.
How much of the U.S. brands do you see on the shelves there, if any?
Not many. I mean, they're coming more and more, but we've got like our European brands. I mean, I've never heard of Jam Monster before I went to Sample Box family.
Oh, okay.
So
you're getting the box, and that's where you're getting to see the different flavors and different companies that are available here.
Yes.
Now, do you have? No plug here, but you I think, don't you have Bartista there?
Yes, we have Bartista.
Yeah, that's right, worldwide, baby. No, I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing. No, I'm not.
I just picked something up today.
I'm not looking at anything at all, but there is one company that makes sure everybody in the world can taste their juice, not like others.
That's true.
I know. I'm kidding, but I know.
It's like you work for them or something.
I know, Bart. They're everywhere, and I know that they really want to take care of the world market, and they're huge in Italy. It's like, I think it's the #1 brand in Italy is Bartista. It's just coffee and Italians. Coffee.
So it makes sense.
How did you like that juice?
I'm loving it. So
yeah, it's good. It's
my first barista liquid, but it's perfect in my opinion.
Alex, we play along with John because you actually just said the word right. But we play along. We just want him to feel, he's so proud of himself. We let him say it wrong.
I'll be using your clip as a commercial later on Instagram. No, I'm joking. And what are you vaping on right now, Alex? What's your setup
right
there?
Now I'm vaping on my Avail Soul Keeper with the Profile 1.5, and for liquid I've got my self-mixed twisted grape ice juice. Ooh. So that's pretty good.
It's a little menthol.
Yeah.
What would you say? What would you say the popular mod is there right now that you see and everybody using? Is the Aegis?
It's on one hand it's all the Aegis mods. On the other hand, it's Smog. Smog is very popular in Austria.
Oh wow!
Also, you can see the baby beasts everywhere.
Really? That was like my most unfavorite tank.
They made like billions of them. So.
Totally agree.
Maybe it's better over there, Tim. Maybe they made a better product.
Yeah, exactly. We got the Wish version of the coils in America. They actually got really
at the Smock warehouse. They have 2 pallets. One going to US.
Yeah, the
other one going to Austria. This is the good stuff. Send it to Austria. We don't want any leaking tanks.
I have a question for Alex then. Yeah. So based on the conglomerate of vapors in Austria, are most people sub-ohm tank vapors, or do you see a good balance between people that use RDAs, RTAs, and tanks, or what's the balance over there? What's the popular thing to do?
I think the more popular thing to do is sub-ohm tanks.
Yeah.
Even though we have the 2 milliliter max capacity, and if you're ever going to see someone with an RDA or RTA, they surely going to have a mech mod or something really high end. So
yeah. I guess you have to think about cost affordability no matter where you go. Probably not everybody can afford all that high end stuff.
Well, the mouth to lung
That's true.
is just such a. I can see why it's so popular over there, because they're. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of picturing Italy and my relatives there, but and compared to us here, they were like they're heavy smokers.
Yeah. I think that's most of Europe are heavy smokers.
Heavy smoke, and a sub-ohm tank with a 3 or a 6 isn't going to cut it for someone that's smoking 3 packs a fucking day, pretty much.
Yeah, but the other thing in Europe that I think is probably a little bit more common, or at least what I experienced, is that over there a lot of people don't buy like prepackaged cigarettes. They buy pouches of tobacco and they just roll their own. They got the little filters and they have the.
I don't know about that. So most of the people that I know buy the prepackaged cigarettes as usual, and how can I say this? Elderly people are more likely to roll their cigarettes themselves. So that's how I see it.
The hipster,
the old people. Like
the old people are too old to roll their own cigarettes. They got arthritis. They can't even do it.
I mean, it varied. It varied. Because I mean, I spent time in the Netherlands. I spent time in the UK. I spent time in Singapore. I spent time in Australia, New Zealand. Like I was all over the place, and it differed. It seemed to me like over in the Netherlands, maybe people were a little bit more inclined to roll their own. In Spain, I saw it quite a bit too.
Yeah, but I don't know. In the Netherlands, there's not just tobacco inside those cigarettes.
Right.
They're rolling.
There's other.
Yeah, they did smell a little different, Alex.
You wanted to do a lot more than smoke a cigarette after you were done. So, oh man, eat and then that's the other problem. You eat and you're eating another cookie that has the same shit that had in the cigarette. So you're just it's a never ending cycle. You don't even know it anymore. It's not until you actually go to someone's home and have their mother cook for you, not worried about getting high. It's just like oh, Tom, Brian, you got any questions for Alex?
Well, one thing is I've ordered stuff from over in Europe before, and I didn't have any extra tax added on for anything when I came back over here. I used to order stuff from Eden Mods a lot. In fact, I still have some sealed stuff here, but from them, they were a really good company, and they had to shut down the doors. But I mean, I didn't have any extra tax, so like, that's one thing I noticed.
Well, I think a lot of those companies pay the tax coming in here. I think it's what Tim was saying. Too. I think it's some of the companies that are trying to save a buck or trying not to try to put the tax on the other person on the other end from here.
Well, I mean, it's sort of like a gotcha thing, which is sort of unfair. I mean, technically, if you're going to go ahead and say you're shipping internationally, you should be able to go ahead and compensate and pay the appropriate amount to get that item into that country instead of sticking it to the customer when they get the notification that their package is there, but they can't pick it up unless they give them another 30-40 euro. I mean, that's not cool at all, and there's really no recourse for it. But and I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying sometimes you may not know all of the rules around shipping something internationally either.
Right.
It's not like they're trying to get a fast one over on the customer. You just, if you're doing it, I mean, well, through the postal service, it's pretty cut and dry. I don't know how difficult it is for someone to use something like FedEx or UPS or how all that works, because I've never used. Where I worked, we did, but that was much different than shipping a vape mod or juice or batteries or something like that. So I don't know. It could just be lack of knowledge on how to ship internationally.
Yeah. Well, I did have like some other questions though too. Is like, so when you guys are like mixing your juices and stuff, as you kind of touched on a little bit ago, like how good are people on actually mixing their juices? Like, do they know how to do it? Are they being instructed how to do it? Or like, how does that really work there?
Oh, good question. Well, this is shop. Basically, it's a shop telling you.
Yeah. The shop is really educational to the customers. They're teaching you, okay, you want 6 milligrams in your juice, so you're gonna need 2 shots on 120 milliliters, for example. And it's pretty straightforward. So you have the aroma inside the bottle, you put your base onto it and your nicotine, shake it up a little, and that's it, basically. So it's not a big deal.
Okay. That's I just find that interesting because like how different countries do it and like how their shops operate and stuff is very intriguing to me, because since I used to work at a shop, that's something that's very interesting to me. Like how, like especially your base that you're talking about, is that like just straight VG, or is that like a 50-50 mix of like PG VG?
Probably
flavorings just
70-30. I'm
PG?
sure.
Like
it's like a 70-30 mix for me.
okay.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
Can you get that in different 80-20,
yes,
Bingo.
you can.
50-50? I'm probably the basic format, or 50-50, 70-30, 80-20.
Yeah, that's right. But you can get everything. You can get 100% VG and PG, so you can mix yourself. So
At home.
and also in Vienna last month, I think there was a shop where I bought some liquids, and they put the base and the nicotine in there for me in the shop, so I didn't have to buy a big
nice.
bottle of base. So that's another method of selling in Austria.
Oh, okay. But as far as the regulation is, it has to be separate. All three things
Yes.
have to be separate, no matter where you go. Yeah.
Yes. And if you're as a consumer, if you're buying the nicotine, you're limited to those
The
10 ml bottles with 18 milligrams of nicotine. So
Now is that
kinda
just
sucks.
yours, or is that like all over? Like how does, like, do you travel much in the area, like across different in Europe? There,
Yeah,
like,
sure.
a lot, like
It's in Austria and in Germany, it's very strict because those are strict countries per se. If you're traveling to like Slovenia or I don't know, somewhere to the east side, you're not gonna find those regulations very much. So
Yeah.
it kind of depends on the country. I was in Hungary last month, I think. There are like no regulations at all.
Yeah, they're selling straight bottles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, does your sample box come the same way with the shot separate?
No.
No. Yeah, he's okay there, I think.
Yeah, I'm kind of okay. They take like 1.5 months for shipping.
Well,
How long
that's
is it taking you to get your box?
Somewhere between 1 and 2 months.
Wow. What is wrong with the UPS and the rest? Well, right now because of COVID, right? That's not normal, or is
Normal? It's like 3 to 4 weeks.
3 to 4 weeks? 3 to 4 weeks.
But I mean, I'm ordering a lot from America, so I have an order from G Fuel, and it's taking like 4 months right now.
Wow.
4 months.
That's going to be
Yes.
some steep juice right there, man.
All right, I'm not going to bitch about the coffee. I already
Yeah.
have the 4
I was gonna say, like,
here yet.
everyone in the group who is complaining about like a week max
Yeah.
is taking to get there. Picture this now.
Yeah.
Like just think about it. That it's taking 4 months to get to you.
Yeah. It's going to be some
So-
damn good juice when it gets to you.
You never want to run out of juice.
No,
That's the thing. So break down the price structure of the 3 components that you need. So what is that 30 ml bottle costing you?
We're not buying 30 ml bottles in Austria, so
120.
Well, he's talking about mixing that 30 ml bottle. What is the how much the cost per the ingredients to put that together?
okay. So
Am I right?
if I'm gonna buy this 120 ml bottle with like 5 to 10 milliliters of aroma, I'm paying between 12 and 25 euros, depending on the brand.
Depending on the brand, yeah.
Yes, then I have this, I think it's 1 liter
Yeah, that's a
of base. Yeah, it's 1 liter. It's like $10 or something. And the nicotine shots per 10 milliliter bottle, it's like 3 euros. And you're gonna need 3 per juice.
3 per
So-
120 ml bottle.
Yes.
So 9 euros plus 10 euros plus like 15 euros, just say, for easy sake. So like what 20,
Right at
30,
right
31 for 120 euro.
Yeah, like 35 euros.
So that's your basic high end juice here. $25 for 120.
Yeah.
But here, do
Yeah.
the conversion. So 35. It's about $40.
No,
$40.
our money, yeah, our money.
Hooray for Google for us.
$1.33 right now, Tim.
What's that?
What's the euro? $1.33 to
No.
One euro is like $1.20.
Oh, yeah, he's right. 1.18.
1.18.
So,
but that changes every day, though. I mean, it
Yeah.
fluctuates constantly.
Yeah. When I was in Italy, it was $1.35 to €1.
So like $40 for 120 milliliters.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's not too
So
bad. I mean,
if you're visiting people, make sure you bring juice.
Another aspect for me is the waste. You have so much plastic waste from just one 120 ml bottle of juice.
Yeah.
That's, to me, that's inappropriate from Austria, from the country, from the government.
Yeah, from the government, and that's that's how they're I mean, all those. I don't know how it all works. Are these all companies that are run by the government, or these are individual corporations?
Those are individual independent companies, so they're just regulated by our government.
But they had to, kind of like what we had. They had to get regulations. Like we have our FDA. I'm sure you guys have your.
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm not sure what it's called in Europe, but it's in Europe per se, and then every country has their own regulations.
Bylaws, yeah.
So they have to get under something like the FDA and get approved.
Yeah. Now, as far as I'm in a restaurant in Austria, can I vape?
Not everywhere.
Not everywhere. Okay.
So, 6 months ago, we got new laws for smoking. So you're not allowed to smoke in bars, in restaurants at all anymore.
That hurt us here. That's, yeah.
It was a shock for all of us. But vaping is, in bigger cities, it's more likely to be seen that you're allowed to vape in a restaurant. Where I lived, it's no chance that you're gonna vape inside. No
way. Oh wow. Here's a good question. How are you looked at when you're walking down the street vaping by a non-smoker? Do you get that you're killing yourself look, or do you get that good for you look?
Neither of those, I think.
You get the fuck out of my way with that cloud.
Yeah. Yes. That's one side of it, but I think vaping is not that common in Lower Austria, in Carinthia. So if someone knows what you're doing, they don't really care. They also don't really care for the big clouds or something. Wow, if they don't know what you're doing right there, they're gonna look at you like got some kind of disease or something.
Yeah. Wow, people that actually mind their own business.
Yeah.
That's kind of a shock.
Not really. I see it all the time. People leave me the hell alone.
Well, that's because of the way you look.
Right. It works.
No, I was kind of curious because, here, I mean, well, now with COVID, no one's doing that. But like if I'm walking, when I go to San Francisco a lot, where it's actually completely banned. Vaping is completely, there's no vape shops there. You can vape there. You just can't buy anything in San Francisco. But just walking,
it's a shithole.
Yeah, just walking up and down the street, and I'm not blowing a massive cloud, but I still kind of get that look. But it used to be like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, it used to be that look like, oh, that goddamn smoker. But now they're so educated there in the city because it's been on the top of everyone's list there, vaping. They can tell the difference between someone vaping and someone smoking. So you kind of still get a different look than you were getting when you were a smoker. Now you're getting like even a worse look because you're a vapor, because like you're creating this
Your
cloud
own ecosystem.
that's gonna, float around and just destroy everyone around you.
In Austria, what I've noticed, if there is some bad news at all about vaping, the people know about it. But if it's something positive, they're never gonna talk about it. So,
Well, that's
Same
one
here. They don't
similarity.
pass any good information around in the media about good stuff about vaping. It's all doom and gloom.
It's
Or
hard.
good stuff about anything in general.
Yeah.
yeah.
What are the conversations like at the vape shop? Are you guys discussing things that are happening here with vaping, or are you guys
Yeah,
talking?
sure.
Are you guys talking about like stuff that's going on? Do you guys like, basically? I'm asking, do you guys are they keeping tabs on what's going on in here and as well where you live? I mean, are they paying attention to what the government's doing with
Yes.
vaping?
So recently I went to the vape shop and we're talking about the CASA and Canada, America, those new regulations, Australia, of course, and how it's more and more going to be like in Europe, because we have pretty strict regulations and we think that it's going this way all around the globe. So
yeah, I think we are going to be. I don't think we're going to go as far as separating the three components. I think we'll still be able to buy a bottle of juice, but we're going to be limited to the size of that bottle, and I think also the max, which I think everyone's saying 25. That's where I see it kind of heading for us. I don't see them wiping out vaping. I see them doing the same thing. Maybe I don't know how they were going to. I already use a 2 mil tank, and it doesn't bother me to have a 2 mil tank. So what? I got to fill it. I got to fill it up a couple more times during the day, but I'm vaping 10 to 15 mils of juice a day. 15 is like a real shitty, I'm pissed off kind of day, but most of the time it's 10 mils of juice. So, I'm doing it 5 times, instead of 2 times, but I hate saying it. I'd be okay with that as long as they're not taking the flavors away from the shelves. As long as I'm still able to walk into a vape shop and say, I want that, and this and that and that. Will I be a little bit upset that I can't buy a 120 mil bottle? Yeah. And for the same reason you are upset. It's just, to me, if I can't buy a 120 mil bottle and I have to buy everything in 30 mil bottles, that's such a waste of plastic, and it's unnecessary. And that to me is not going in the same direction our government's talking about, with being more green. That's not being more green.
Yeah,
that's being
totally
worse.
agree. Something really funny I noticed in the last couple of months in Austria. There are those 2 milliliter tanks. And the shop is, I don't know if it's completely legal, but they are selling you those conversion kits to bigger tanks.
Yeah.
It's the same shop, so it's completely nuts.
So you can buy the bubble glass tank because, I don't know. They're not, it's kind of hard because like it's already in the packaging. I don't know if China's going to go out of their way to not put that little bubble glass tank in there.
We've got our own packages without the bubble glass, and they're coming in some little packages, and they're just selling it for $2 more.
$2 more. You want that bubble glass?
Go and have your 4 milliliter
That's funny
tank. So it's really funny.
Yeah, I remember when that first rule had passed, and I saw China just scrambling trying to figure out how they were going to do that, and I remember them putting the little silicone sleeves.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I'm thinking to myself, what's stopping the guy in the UK from just pulling that little rubber thing out?
Well,
absolutely nothing. That was the point of it.
That applied to the Wismec, that one Wismec tank that came with the Gen 3.
Got the Gen 3.
It's a 2 mil tank with that rubber insert. And even on the review videos, the reviewers tell you just pull it out, and then it's like 4 mil or something like that.
Yeah, it has to be sold as a 2 mil tank. You don't have to use it as a 2 mil tank.
That's the point.
Yeah, that was China's quick remedy to fix that issue with the UK.
It worked.
Yeah, it did. That hey, and it's it's bullshit. If I'm I put it this way, as a consumer, I think it's bullshit that I'm getting 2 tanks and you're only going to get 1 because the UK says you can't have anything bigger than 2. Well, then put another 2 mil glass tank in there, or glass tank in there in case you break the one. You're only getting 1, right? And that's it. So
That's
if you
true.
break it, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
No, they go buy the bubble glass.
Yeah. You go buy the bubble glass for $2.
Yeah.
Hey, Madison.
Oh, hell, here's trouble. Hi, Madison.
Yeah, that is funny. But that's good. I'm glad to hear that you guys are out, in the shops there. You're talking about, but you guys are also discussing things that are happening in Austria as well as
of course.
regulations here. Do you guys fear that, there's always that talk, well, if the US does it and Canada does it and the UK does it, it's gonna explode and start everywhere.
Yes, we're
Very concerned with that.
very concerned about that. So we're hoping every day that our government does not hear anything bad about vaping, because it can go like that. And we've got some new laws in Austria.
Yeah, it could be the same effect that in India. I mean there are. I didn't realize. Well, I kind of had an idea that there were so many people in India smoking. I didn't realize they were like one of the top countries in smokers. But for them to ban vaping completely there, I think they outnumber us in smokers. They did. I'm sure they still do. India.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And here's a product that's helping the people. Maybe they want them to smoke. I don't know. I don't want to go there.
Hey, Brian, why don't you just read that here?
Read what?
Because we're getting to that. So
okay. What do you got? What do you got? Did you guys say hello to Madison?
Yes, I said hello to Madison.
No, I said there's trouble. Then I said hi, Madison.
You said there's trouble.
Yes,
it's trouble. So Madison's one of our regulars. She watches our show. You've probably seen her on the Box Street stuff. We like to give her a lot of crap.
She's really good at knowing things.
Yep. So,
you guys got more questions? Any more questions for Alex?
I'm actually really intrigued in the whole how the shop works and the
Hi, Cheryl.
Hey, Cheryl.
The workings of how everything works there, because it's very interesting. Because it doesn't the UK, they have 10 mil restricted, and then you have your mix your own. Is there everywhere around there, do they have different rules on everything? Every different, let's say Germany or everywhere else, are they all different, how they do their things? Let's say France.
Kind of. So I mean, the UK is a whole another story, because the Brexit and stuff. So they've got their own regulations.
Yep.
The most similar countries are Germany and Austria.
Mm-hmm.
The more you go to the north, the more chilled they are about vaping, as I see it. The more you go to the east, the less they care. But in Austria and France and Germany, they're very strict. Also in Switzerland, they're also very, very strict about vaping, about their laws. But everyone has their own kind of set of laws. So it's a little bit different wherever you're going.
Yeah, I wonder how it works in Switzerland, because they're pretty loosey goosey with everything there.
Except money stuff. Then they're quiet about that shit. I don't say nothing.
Switzerland, all Switzerland cares is money coming in, and vaping brings money. So I don't know. I've never been there, so I don't know if there's a lot of smokers there. I'm sure there is.
There are a lot of smokers, what I can remember, but I've never been in a vape shop in there. So,
well, they got a couple companies that are really high-end tank manufacturers there in Switzerland.
Yeah,
isn't that where Svomesto's from?
Stornefso is from. Oh God, aren't they by you, right? Or no. Where are they? Hungary?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
I'm not sure.
Google Master Brian. Where's the Vesto?
Yeah, Google that, Brian.
I don't know.
Where?
You know, the company that makes like the K-Fun and shit.
K-Fun.
Oh,
Sylvester.
no.
I can't say it now. Now I can't say it.
You couldn't say it before, John. Don't worry.
I know. I think something.
Slow.
Yeah.
SVOE space.
Well, you gotta
MESGO.
put the umlauts. They're
Yeah.
hold on. I'm trying. I pulled it up here. Where the hell is Slow Mesto from?
.de Denmark.
Denmark. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to know your URLs there, Slick.
Well, it didn't give the country where I was. So.
What was the short?
No, it's a
No, it's a manufacturer.
K-Fun. K-Fun.
K-Fun Light.
Yeah, but what was the URL? DE?
.de.
That's Germany.
That's
Germany.
Germany. Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, hey, I was
Yeah.
close.
Know your URLs, buddy.
Touche.
You're lucky I don't have my sound effects today. I hit you with that one, Tommy. You want money?
See, I have a friend of mine here in my town. He's a good friend of mine. He's actually from the Netherlands, and we chit chat about vaping stuff all the time. He goes back and forth. He lived, him and his wife lived in the Netherlands for like 4 years. Came back and he goes back quite often. So we compare stories and how products are here and there and stuff like that too. It's very, very interesting, and I find how everything changes countries very, very interesting.
Hang
why I'm
on.
very intrigued.
Your friend moved from Fargo, North Dakota.
No, to Fargo.
Okay, he lived in the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm. Born and raised.
And of all the places in the country to pick, he picked Fargo, North Dakota.
See, do you hear how he's jealous here?
Yeah,
I am not jealous.
He's upset that he didn't move to Wisconsin.
Right.
I'm sure where did he come from?
From the Netherlands.
I was going to say maybe oil. So he moved there where there was oil now. You know how that works sometimes.
I had something else to do, but I've always wanted to take a trip over there with him sometime. I can't speak a lot of what they speak, but he can, and so he'd be my translator. So yeah,
I got a good question for you, Alex.
Yeah, sure.
I walk into the vape shop and I want to buy a basic setup, mod and tank. What am I looking at price wise?
$400.
$1 million.
I think it's not that bad. So it depends on the mod you're gonna get. So
Smock. You said Smock is big there, so I'm going to buy a Smock mod and a Smock tank. What am I looking?
$5.
40, 50 euros.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah.
So
Pretty
that's
average.
reasonable. Yeah.
So that's not bad. That's a lot better than the markup that we get in most vape shops. I'm not shitting you. Brian will probably know the name of the mod, but remember the Smock one that had the side grip with the big screen?
Oh, the G-Priv, I think it was.
When that first came out, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I want that. But I wanted it now. It was one of those mods that I didn't want to wait a week to get in the mail. So I went to a vape shop and it was there. So I was like, cool, I'm just going to buy it, right? So I asked the guy, I said, how much is that mod? He goes, $110.
Oh, shit.
I looked at him, I was like, I don't need it that bad, man. I go, do you realize that? Now, it wasn't a cheap mod then. It was still a $79 mod, I think. It's about a $80 mod. So he was marking it up, pretty good. And I was just like, I'm not paying $110 for that Smock mod.
And I think in Austria we don't really have those markups. I mean, like a few days ago, I've bought my Tauren Mac mod, and it was like 67 euros. So it was cheaper than what I saw it online for.
Wow.
So I can't complain.
Yeah, hold that mod up again. Which one was that?
The Tauren.
Oh, the Tauren. Okay. Nice.
Mac mod. Yeah. So I can't complain about the prices.
And you see the purges, you see TVL in there, you see who else you got in there? Kennedy.
Thunder, Kennedy's. So the range is full of $20 starter kit to a really high end device.
Your Purge, your Kennedys, and your TBLs are still right at that €100 range. Yeah, over 100. Yeah. Okay, and that's like top of the line for you guys. I mean, that's how it is. It's U.S. manufacturing. You guys go crazy for that stuff, and we here go crazy for China stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like if you go into a vape shop and ask the guy, okay, what's the best thing I've probably can buy for money, he's 100% gonna tell you Kennedy.
Yeah, Kennedy. Now that the vape shop owner, when I walk in, okay, I'm a new guy, walk in, okay, and I'm like, hey, I want to quit smoking. Are they? Have you been in that situation at the shop and watched that take place where the guy walks in, and how are they about going about that? Like, are they like, okay, how much do they go through the whole process? Or are they trying to sell a specific brand? Like
they
here,
are totally open for everything. So I walked into a vape shop last year with my girlfriend. She wanted to quit smoking, and the shop owner just asked her out for everything that was important to her, and then they've got a device. They stuck with the caliber, I think.
The caliber. Oh,
and it's just great. She had a lot of fun with the device, and the vape shop sold this, what was important to the customer. So I don't think that they were going for anything.
Yeah, they weren't selling the high, not the high.
No,
they weren't trying to upsell her on stuff.
They weren't upselling her or putting her in something that wasn't going to be very successful for her on quitting.
No. Yeah, also, if you were in a vape shop and the employer, the owner, sees you as a not very experienced vapor, they're never going to sell you a MechMod. Never.
No, good. That's good to know. Yeah, that's the way it wasn't that way here for a long time, but there was that 6 years ago with that mech craze. Everybody wanted a mech mod, and it was just like, and I get the shops, I mean,
a friend of mine here doesn't know how to build.
Yeah,
or anything like that, and she has 2 mech mods.
Well,
what are you doing?
Well, the differential there was, I think it's two things. I think if you go back a handful of years, say 3, 4, 5 years ago, you had, it's supply and demand, right? When the hot thing comes out, everybody's got to have the hot thing, right? So, if they're pushing mech mods and that style of vaping, and they make you think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, that's what the vape shops were going to try to put people into, because they know that that's what people wanted. And why get into a conversation about what matches your vaping level? I'm just going to sell you the coolest thing because I know that's kind of what you want. The other thing too, which I think made a big difference, is that people could go into shops and get mech mods and RDAs and stuff that they probably weren't ready for on their own, but they could just walk right back into the vape shop, and for $10 they would change their coils and wick them for them. You know what I mean? And then, make sure their batteries weren't torn or have the wraps messed up, and then just send them on their way. And then every so often they'd show up at the vape shop and kind of get, that sort of vape service from people. But then when they kind of yanked that away from the ability for the vape shops to do that, those days were over. And now, like, your friend's got 2 mech mods.
Yeah.
Yeah, she comes to me and I have to build for her, which, okay.
Yeah, you're not a good builder.
Fuck off. I still got most of my fingers, damn it.
Well, it's great to hear that they're not limited to the education and help they can give. Now, they're not allowed. Are they like us where they're not allowed to say that this is going to save your life? They can't say any of that, correct?
They can say any of that, but they're not gonna advertise it as life-saving or something.
Right? They can't. It's just like here. So that's just so. But that's fine to not having the ability to say that. But it's great that you can walk into a shop, and now that's my question. I lost my train of thought, but I can walk in and say my coil's broke. Can you fix it?
Yeah.
Can I do that?
Totally.
Fucking awesome. That's
No,
where
you can't do that because your
I
commute
was
would be a
taking
bitch.
a long way there, Alex. I was taking a long way there, but I got there. Because that was the question I wanted to ask you earlier. Is that, when I was talking about me being a newbie and walking in there, and newbies shouldn't be already using pre-built coils, or pre-made coils or whatever you want to call them. But that's nice that if I go in there and I'm having an issue where my mod says my RDA is shorting out, I can walk into any vape shop and a guy would help me out. That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty much. So I think the first like 20 coils I've ever put into an RDA, I built them with the shop owner in my local vape shop. So he taught me about it. He helped me, and it's just a great experience. So
yeah, before all this shit happened here, it was great. The Planet of the Vapes here in Modesto, they used to have a building clinic every Sunday. So all you did is I told you, all you need is a drill. They were going to supply everybody with everything, and I thought that was just crazy. I was like, they're paying for all the wire, all the cotton, and anything else you needed. All you needed to bring to the class was a drill. They said bring a cordless drill.
That's awesome.
And they did it every Sunday morning I think it was from 10 to 12 for 2 hours. They had these nice tables set up in the vape shop. Everybody sat down and they showed you basic coils, nothing, and maybe twisted coils, but basically kept it, 24 gauge, 26 gauge, and maybe some twisted 28, but kind of let everybody see the process and see that it's not such a difficult thing, which to me is awesome in a lot of ways because, vape shops make money off of pre-made coils. I mean, if there's a markup on a coil, it's there. Am I right, Brian?
Yeah, well, I mean, most coils that people do, I've seen them range from a set of coils to like $5 to $8, all the way up to like $40, depending on what the coil is.
Oh, no, I'm talking about packaged coils.
Yeah.
That vape shops, the ones you get for your sub-ohm tanks.
Yeah,
Like
there's. Yeah. That's kind of debatable, depending on how many you got and all that stuff. Depends on how big the shop is and so that. I mean,
I paid
normal shop
for one
here
Cleos coil, $10.
Wow,
one coil.
Look at where you live. Cost of living the bitch.
Because normally around here, a pack of coils is roughly like $20, give or take, depending on $25.
So that's a $12 pack though online.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But unlike online places, a brick and mortar's got to pay for the lights, the employees, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, but that's also not. That's how do you say it? Is that's also before wholesale, right? Or how's that work? Because I mean, if I'm a shop and I buy a case of coils, and there's 10,000 in a case, I'm going to get that case. Each pack is going to break down to like $5-6. Brian's going to check his wholesale pricing.
Well, no, it's just,
he's going to.
It just depends on there's quite some variables in this. Depending how popular the product gets, what the distributors actually get it for, where are you going to for what? Like if you go straight to Smock and get them, like if I went straight to Aspire and got them, I'd probably get a better price than I would through a distro because now you're adding a third person, another person into the mix. So everyone's got to get the cut somewhere, right? So I mean that's in most shops, almost everywhere around the U.S. they deal with one of their distributors instead of straight to Smock or Aspire or Kanger or what have you. For a lot of stuff because there's so many variants of products now that it's hard just to pick one and just go after it. So if you go to a place that has all these products all in one shot, it's a lot easier for the shops to actually get in the products.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Alex, your favorite YouTube reviewer, is he American?
No. I don't think so. He's Alex. Australian.
It's Alex.
Vaping Bogan?
Yeah.
Oh, you're the Bogan. That makes sense.
Everybody loves the Bogan.
Everybody likes the Bogan. Well, he does the mechs, so he's pretty much he does review other.
He makes a damn good mod, I will say.
Yeah, we all three of us have one. Timmy's
Are y'all
got.
gonna get the? Are you gonna get the? Yeah, I got one. It's back. It's back there.
It's in
Yeah,
the-
no, that's the
it's the
Bonza
bucket
mech.
yeah,
Are you gonna get the? Are you gonna get the Odin 100?
I'm thinking about it, so
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, it's only. I think I was trying to find the pricing on it. It's getting ready to drop. Well, they have the 75C that's out now, but I don't want to pay that price tag. But I'm thinking about getting that 100.
I saw this today. Let's see if I can pull it up.
Make sure it's not one of your old man porn sites.
Yep.
What?
It's called Wrinkle Hub.
You're a sick fucker. Okay, there won't be any sound to this, but you can see it. I'm not invited.
Bow wow.
Bow wow. I am debating. I actually like the Hera by RSS Mods.
Who?
The
Yeah.
what?
I thought he retired from doing reviews.
God, no.
It's a beautiful mod, and I got my eyes on it, and I want it.
He had a YouTube video that he was quitting. Actually,
He did. He gave it up for a while. He
did for a while, but he's always coming back. It's a beautiful mod. I think it's going to run about 80 to 100 here in the US. I think it's 50 euros in everywhere else, but here in the US, I think it's right at the $100 mark. I think. Let me see if I can fast forward this.
What chipset is it running?
I think it's a DNA. It is a DNA.
It's DNA. Yeah.
It's a DNA 60, I think.
Probably 75.
Oh, it's single 18, so it's got to be up to max 75.
I have a really hard time subscribing to that. I mean, there are some cool mods that are out there that run DNA lower wattage maximum chipsets, and I'm like, I don't even go below like 85, 90 watts.
Like these ones are DNA 75s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I get it. 75 is the max wattage output on it, but it's like I don't typically do installs that are conducive to that.
Yeah, it's because you're using a tank that's using like 100 and some watts. Like those are great for like Nautilus, a little Nautilus tank, little like
MTL, RTA, stuff like that.
Alex is really good.
Or single coil. Does it do temp control?
Yeah.
I was going to say, then you could do like a single coil high resistance build, like a 0.36 or something like that, and you're not going to need any more than what that mod gives you. So I maybe that's my next journey is to do something.
My plan for that is that mod will never see more than 15 watts, maybe 12 the max. I'm going to use it for mouth to lung. I have no plans on going over 15 watts with that mod.
Especially, well, that's what I was thinking is I could go and get into something like that and do like an MTL kind of RTA or something like that.
Alex, any mouth to lung stuff that you do, or other than the pod system?
Not really. I don't think that I've got anything at hand. No, there's nothing.
You hit the girlfriend's caliber and every now and then.
Yes, sometimes it's currently without a pod, but sometimes. I've got another story for you guys. So, a friend of mine who has a vape shop in Vienna has this own vape cotton. It's called Canna cotton. It's made of cannabis fiber,
Oh, nice.
And like 2 or 3 weeks ago, his whole plantage of cannabis plants was seized by the Austrian drug enforcement because they thought it was for drugs, and
like
it was a damage of about 50,000 euros that they made. So that's a bummer.
They took the plants, or did they take the cotton?
The plants, and they destroyed them.
Yeah.
So are you saying
that'll set you back for a little while?
Yeah.
So that we can't get that right now?
Tell him to move to California. He can grow all that shit he wants. Colorado, Washington. You could do all that stuff here, but vape. You can't vape, but you can.
Well, and you can't use straws there either. So.
Yeah, you can't use straws here. You got to have paper straws. So
see, California's
But
making a lot more
you can
sense.
use straws made out of hemp.
yeah, I can get my clothes made out of here. Now, what are the Caliburn pod systems running there? It's about 15.
Yeah, something like that.
And the
15
pods
to
are coming
20.
in. And the pods
The
are
pods are coming in those packages of 4, I think.
Or that's what I get. Yeah.
So it's like $10, something.
Yeah, I think around here they run you about 13, 14 for a pack of 4.
Yeah, it should be
Depending on where you shop.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys keep talking. I need to refill this. I'll be right back.
Can you grab me one while you're there?
Yes,
me too.
I'll grab you guys some Sky Vodka back there.
There we go.
Yeah, let me refill my drink.
I got the lemonade.
Yeah, get the lemonade. I'll be right back, guys.
I'm gonna watch everyone just try to pour their stuff into the cameras. Just
all right. Who wants to take over?
Then is this
Hey, when I get back, everybody better have their clothes on. That's all I'm saying.
No promises.
I'm not wearing any pants right now, so.
No. So with Alex, when you transitioned from smoking to like vaping, did you find it like an easy like transition? Like, did you start out with like still with like your sub-ohm tanks right off the bat, or did you like actually use like multi-lung stuff and then transitioned up like higher neck to lower neck, or like how did you do that?
Yeah, I started with like Von L is the brand. It's something with Swarovski glass and some shit that they sold me in the local shop. It was a multi-lung vape. It was very hard for me to quit smoking and get into vaping. It was never like the same hit of the vapor. And then like 1 year later, stepped the game up and bought my first Sub-Ohm Tank. I think it was some kind of UL mod, a crown mod or something. And ever so slightly stepped up the game, and now I'm here at Mac mods and RDAs.
Now, do you find yourself when you mix your liquids, do you find yourself adding like less nicotine kind of as you go, or do you kind of just have a set routine like I always need this much nicotine type thing?
I mean, I've decreased my nicotine pretty much in the last couple of years. So I started up with 18 milligrams. Now I'm down to 6 milligrams. So I'm trying to get lower and lower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, because I know I actually was down to zero at one point, and I'm at 3 right now, and that's what I use. And like I can go down if I want to a little bit. That's not a big deal. But I think like with how you guys do it, to me it seems like an easier access for people to actually have that ability to step themselves down without having to buy another bottle. They just have to mix it weaker every time they kind of go, which is a great mindset, I think, for the consumers.
Yeah, I do too, Brian.
I agree.
And make it a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for us, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but for a while there, I had a hard time finding anything over 6 in shops.
Mm-hmm.
In shops.
Yeah, and that's kind of the big gripe around here is that websites, shops, and all that stuff, like they have a hard time getting anything up to even 12.
Yeah.
And beyond that, like it's really hard to find, and especially with the nic salts stuff now, which is its own thing. But I mean, to have a smoker have the ability to actually have 12 to up to 18 to 24 freebase and have that ability to work themselves down is actually very crucial for those who are trying to quit or trying to get off nicotine.
Yeah.
But there are also some con sides, I think, because at some point I was at 0 milligrams, and the craving for a cigarette was just skyrocketing because I had the craving for the nicotine, and I overestimated myself. So,
do you think you stepped down too fast?
Yeah, definitely. So I pretty much went back to like 12 milligrams something, and tried to step it down
Step it
once
down.
in a while. Yeah.
I know. I always kept usually a bottle of 6 on me when I was at
Always.
zero.
When I
And then when I was using my RDAs and stuff, I would put like if I need nicotine, I would put like a drop in there,
Mhm.
and then in my RDA, and like I would just take a vape and then keep doing 0 from then on until I need something again, and just put 1 drop of 6 in there and keep going again. And like because that 1 drop of 6 in that little coil and stuff is going to put it at what 4 maybe at the very highest type thing.
Yeah.
So
I did 0 for 3 days. I did it for 3 days, and I didn't like the person I was.
yeah, I was at 3 to 4 months, and the person who I was working for, she was actually doing 12. And the samples we got in, she wanted to try that on samples, which is fine. But I was on 0 and she was on 12, and she wanted me to drip them and try them. I'm like, I can't give you an accurate assumption on how these are going to taste at all. Like, I just can't. And so I was back up to 12 for a little while on RDAs, and I quickly just within like a few days I started stepping it down very quickly because I knew that if I kept doing 12 on an RDA, it's not going to end well.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think that was the transitions for me were sort of current technology related, right? So, you know, I started with the blue, and then from there I was into the ego style ones, and then from there, you know, I was telling myself, oh, I'll never make my own coils. That just looks like way too much work. And then, you know, a week later, you're buying wire and, you know, wrapping your own coils and doing all that. And so as I started to get into the clone mods, and I had mechs and the RDA clones and stuff like that, and you just couldn't do 24 or 18 milligram in those things. Mm-hmm. You had to step it down pretty quickly. And so I don't think it took much for me to go from, say, 24 or 18 right down into a 6. There really wasn't it was a short transition period because I was still able to get the nicotine that I wanted out of the higher powered devices than what I would have required from something that was lower wattage. I mean, those Ego twist pens, I think the most they went up to were like 3.5 volts or something like that. I think that was the max on them or something like that. I don't know what the wattage was because you couldn't really gauge it. It was just everything from like half a volt up to 3.5 volts or something like that.
Remember that first time vaping 6 in a Sub-Ohm tank, Tim?
I don't really.
God, that was so harsh. That was so. It was for me. It was the Kanger Tech.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, the original one, the first one, and I just switched my sample box to 6, and I was like, okay, let's give this a go. And I was just like, oh shit.
Yeah,
I was walking around a little goofy for about 2 days. I was like, okay, I can't do this. And that's what's funny is that's what happened with this puff bar thing.
Right.
That first hit, I was like, whoa. I was like, that it felt like that first goddamn cigarette I smoked.
Yep.
And I was just like, whoa, I don't like that. I didn't like that feel. I didn't want it. I didn't want to have that feeling because some of us that were heavy smokers, that was a great feeling, right? We were lucky to still have that.
Yeah, but even then, cigarettes didn't have nearly as much as what a Juul has in it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Cigarettes, I think, are only like 24 milligram.
Mm-hmm.
Some are 18.
Really glad the battery died on this fucking thing. That's what
So I have a question. I have a
Well,
question about the puff
you can
bar.
actually recharge that, but
Well, on the puff bars,
yeah.
How long did it last you, and what are you
Maybe
paying for something
hours,
like that?
12 hours tops in normal use. Maybe I'm going to say I was trying to keep myself to about 2 hits every maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was dead. I got up that morning and I went to go hit it, and it was like, boop, gone. I could still taste the juice in there, but I don't have any power.
So do you think that the battery lasts shorter than the juice that's inside there?
Bingo. Yeah, there's still juice in here. Like I just hit that and I taste juice. So I'm assuming I want to take it apart.
The pixie stick.
I do so bad.
Take it apart. See what's inside it, John.
Yeah,
Go.
it's actually what it is. It's actually a little
If it blows up, it'll be live.
Yeah.
Well, what are you paying for that, John?
I paid $8 with tax.
Good gravy.
Yeah, $8. So basically, I figure in this thing is the equivalent to a pack of cigarettes here for us. For me.
What are the cigarette prices in America?
It varies. Depends on what state you're in. Like in New York, it's like $10 or $11 a pack. Down here in Atlanta, it's like $4.50 or close to $5.
Oh, okay.
So it all depends. It's demographical depending on where you go, because the states they determine what the price is based on what the revenue.
It's like Europe. So
I think the last pack I bought was like 7 something.
Yeah, but what we
like
don't
4 years ago, so I don't care.
Yeah, but what we don't have, Alex, here in America is we don't have like the 40 packs and stuff like that.
Right.
We don't have that.
You don't have those anymore. In the Netherlands, they did. The guys had the big fatty packs all the time.
Yeah, we used to have them, but not anymore for like 5 years now.
Okay.
John,
Nice.
you should actually take that apart on camera.
I'm not.
Okay, bye, John.
Oh, he's gone.
So
he blew up. That's all right. Well, we lost John for the remainder of the series of the Best Damn Vape Show. So somehow
His head, his shoulder,
oh my God,
and both shoulders hurt.
No, I thought about doing
okay.
it live, but then I thought if something goes horribly wrong, then YouTube would ban the video.
Come on, man, it's content.
He's going to tinker around with his puff bar, and he's dead.
Yeah. Use puff bars. Puff bars blow up. Now I'll take it apart and take some pictures. I'll take it apart and take some high-end pictures. But yeah, the battery, the juice is outlasting the battery in those things, big time. But like I said, I'm going to say, and it wasn't just that first hit. It was every hit I took from that thing. I was getting that buzz from it. So and the other thing, I'm going to be honest here, man. I said it. The best fucking juice I've had in a closed system in a long time, dude. That melon ice that they're using in this is just spot on. Really, I know everybody says it's Chinese juice, but if this is Chinese fucking juice, this damn good Chinese juice is. I've had a lot of melon ice, and that juice spot on.
Well, the thing with those is that they actually have like this cotton that comes down with this little tiny wire mesh inside it with the battery hooked up to it, and there's no juice actually sitting in like a little like
reservoir,
like a tank.
Yeah, like a caveat like that. It's more of like it's all concealed with that cotton, and it's more like that.
It's not this style where it's two pieces.
Yeah, and so like that juice is designed to last for a certain time frame, and that's why it's a longer cotton in there. And when you use it, it's only used a little bit here and there, and that should last enough for the battery, in theory, anyways.
Yeah, I could get more than a 5-second pull, maybe 4 seconds.
Yeah,
pull it, and then it would stop. So it was probably 4 or 5 seconds pull, and it would stop working.
I just got the Freemax Max Pod today. So far, fucking loving it.
Yeah, well, this is a series I'm going to start doing on the Zamble Box page. Tomorrow I have a new one that I'm going to go purchase. So I thought it'd be kind of a cool little series, just like just in emergency situations, but I'm going to ask around and try to get some brands that are kind of everywhere that like that Tim can buy, that I will have on my shelf here. And not try. That's why I bought the puff bar, because I figured I saw it. And I was like, okay, this is something. No matter where you are in the U.S., you're going to see it in the gas station. So I'm going to try to stick to devices.
I've never actually looked because I don't really have a need to go into those places very often.
Maybe one of you guys can jump in on it too as well. Maybe buy one. We could do like a dual comparison.
Well, anything I buy here is going to far exceed anything bought in California.
Whatever.
Wisconsin's a better state.
I could tell you I'd rather live where Alex lives. That's for damn sure.
In California? Absolutely.
No, California's paradise. We already discussed this.
No,
Even
it's
ask
not.
Alex. Alex, if you had to choose where to go in the United States, where would you go?
Don't say California.
I'm not gonna choose California. I'm gonna choose Georgia.
Georgia. Oh, you got it.
All right.
I could see.
I got nothing wrong with the South.
You understand what the South
No,
was?
we're a very cost efficient state. You know, you have a little, you have a price of homes. Housing is relatively decent. I don't live near the city. I live outside the city.
People are friendly.
Yeah,
food's
everybody
good.
says hello and waves and stuff like
But
that.
see, I can see him saying that because they are so family oriented. They're yes sir, no sir. There, correct? I mean, you call everyone sir, and you know the same thing. Like in Italy, your seniors are very well respected, and I'm sure it's the same there. Where you're not going to get that in California. You're going to get the fuck out of my way, old man. Where in Georgia, you're going to get it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yeah. It is sort of a warm environment. Everyone's friendly until you get down into the city, and then it's like, fuck out of my way, motherfucker.
Have you been here, Alex? Have you been to the United States?
Not yet, but I've got relatives in San Francisco and in Vancouver, so I'm planning to go there next year if the whole COVID situation.
Well, Germany's got it all figured out. Germany's got it figured out. They got the cure. They got the cure.
If you have to fly into Atlanta, give me a ring, dude. I'll come pick you up at the airport.
Yeah, sure.
If you're in San Francisco, let me know, because if you're in I'm only an hour and 25-minute drive to San Francisco, and I'm there all the time. So
don't go to California. If you bring straws, you're gonna go to jail.
Yeah, there are no straws. There are no plastic straws in San Francisco. Bring a bag to pick up the shit with too. Oh, that's funny.
I mean, you can always come here and North Dakota because
there's nothing there.
Tom will drive up for it.
Have you ever seen pictures of where he's from?
I think I've seen some pictures.
No, I'm talking about Brian. Have you ever seen pictures of where Alex lives?
Yeah.
There's no way he wants to live in flat land over there.
Yeah.
Hey, I got trees and hills here.
Yeah. This is why I want to go there instead of him coming here.
Yeah, there you go. Austria.
I mean, if he's gonna be close to us, might as well come down and visit.
I have a friend that owns a traveling. It's a high-end traveling service company that's there in Austria.
Provide escorts.
What's it called?
No. She. Oh God,
it can't be that high end.
Let me get her up here. Barbara. Oh my God, hold on. Give me a few minutes. You guys talk amongst yourselves. But her and her husband own the company, and they travel all over the world and rate hotels and high-end villas and stuff like that and they have like a selected group of high-end people that go to these places.
Alex, what about Texas? Thought about going to Texas?
I'm planning on going there.
Yeah? When?
Yeah. I mean, if it's gonna work out next year.
Yeah, because he's not going to come over here for a week, dude. He's going to come over here for like
for a month.
yeah, definitely.
I would try to get a ticket and go down to Texas and go down there with you. I know some people in Texas there.
Well, what are you trying to? What kind of trouble are you trying to get Alex into anyway? You just randomly invited him to Texas with no idea of what. We're just come on, Alex. Let's go to Texas. What the fuck are you gonna do in Texas?
Hey, Brian, let me know. I'm in.
See, Tim. Look at this. Like, what's wrong with you?
Texas is awesome.
Cow tipping, drill for oil. What are you gonna do in Texas?
Cow tipping. We have that here in Austria as well. So I'm familiar with that.
Okay. So you'll fit right in, Alex.
No, try tipping a cow that has 6-foot horns on either side of its head.
Those are the ones you don't mess with, Tom.
Yeah, if you want to, we have a lot of people from Austria and Germany that come to Yosemite. When every time I'm up there's always a group from Austria. There's always a group from Germany that's there. Norway. And this year it's been bad because you guys aren't allowed to go anywhere. So It's just Americans there, and it's not the same.
I mean, we are allowed now, I think.
Yeah, now you are. Yeah.
It's like open, but America is the problem, because if you go there, you're like 14 days in quarantine, and if you go back, you're another 14 days in quarantine. So
yeah, it's just not worth it right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can really make this a long trip now.
Yeah, but who wants to spend the first 14 days of vacation stuck in a hotel somewhere just doing nothing?
Well, she's in. That's where she's from. I don't know.
It's Vienna. Okay.
Can we see a picture of her? Can you? Okay. Just.
They're in Italy right now. Her and her husband.
Nice life.
I'm going to Italy on Saturday.
Oh. Okay, well, are you there? Pick me up. No. Yeah, they travel all over the country, all over the world, and it's pretty awesome. It's a great lifestyle.
I can handle that kind of job.
Yeah, they were just at that hotel. Oh, where is that? In Saudi Arabia? Is it Dubai? That one that's like way up there.
The Burj Khalifa.
The Burj Khalifa in Dubai, I think.
Yeah, I've driven by it. I didn't go up on it.
God, the pictures they posted from that pool with her at the edge of the pool there with nothing behind her. It was just like,
nope. Can I just tell you, John, that they consider where the Burj Khalifa is. Yeah. That's considered the old part of Dubai. They're actually expanding it. There's a whole like way down the freeway. There's a whole nother area. But
there's islands, right? That they're building homes.
Well, they did that in the old part where they kind of like they kind of have man-made little islands, and that's just one thing. But there's every high-rise in Dubai, the old part, they're all like to the sky. But it is hot. Yeah, let me just tell you, it is hot. I mean, when it gets
to be a dry heat.
It is not
it's like here.
Dude, you melt.
Yeah,
you don't melt. Heat.
Yeah, it's 110 here today, but it's probably a little bit different.
No, it can get up to like 120, 100. Dude, you're in the desert.
Yeah, it's a freaking desert on a coast.
Yeah, so here's sort of a vaping related story. So
you vaped in Dubai.
Huh?
You vaped in Dubai.
No, you couldn't because it was illegal to bring it over.
They'll take it from him.
Yeah, they'll confiscate it at the airport. So you have to look at all the laws and stuff. Now, I mean, you can hookah in Dubai, but you can't vape. But I saw people vaping in Dubai, but they were, they're doing it, a little discreetly. But at any rate, that was just one of the situations where I had to go to another country and I couldn't bring my vape stuff with me. So I had to compensate and smoke. And so I 1 week I was over there. It was during Ramadan. Well, during Ramadan, you can't, there's all kinds of restrictions. You can't smoke. You can't be outside in like a short sleeve shirt during certain hours of the day, all the stuff. So we had to go to an office and the people in the office knew, we're not from there. It'd be really hard to kind of get us to adhere. So it's more about respect at that point. Like you just respect the rule as opposed to, just outright breaking it and being like, oh, I'm some pompous American. I can do whatever I want. So when we
was that a shot?
What?
That sounded like it was a shot.
It shot at us. Yeah.
No,
that's how we are. Unless you traveled overseas, that's how we're thought.
I don't think they all view us that way, but I don't want to get off topic. The point was you just don't bully in there and just do what you want to do because it's not your religion or whatever. Yeah. So at any rate, I had to smoke to compensate for not having vape. Yeah. So a few of us smoked, and so the manager of the office was like, all right. He's like, I'm going to show you where you guys can go smoke because we couldn't walk out front. We had to. So he took us up like 4 flights of stairs, all the way up to the top of this building. And and it was like a scene at Willy Wonka. You know, like that hallway he has. Where it's like everything starts getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So by the time we got to the top of the fourth floor, the ceiling kept getting shorter. To the point where we were up there and we're kind of ducking and going down this kind of catwalk to this little escape door, which was half our size. We're climbing through so we could smoke on the roof. And we thought, oh, that's great. Until we realized we were standing on top of the roof with 45 air conditioner units.
It was super hot.
And it's already 125 degrees outside in the middle of the day. And now you've got all these machines blowing hot air all over you. And it made me think, it was you remember what it was like to smoke and you had to go outside and smoke in the cold? And you were hot boxing the crap out of that cigarette because you didn't want to be outside for more than a minute. Yeah. It was the same thing, but in the heat. It was oh, fuck this.
Okay.
You get rid of that cigarette. You were back inside and you're sweating. You were sweating by the time you got back.
First of all, I live in North Dakota, so we vape and smoke outside a lot, 6 months out here, if not more. So
yeah, there is no going outside.
Yeah, you go outside, you're just gonna hang out there for a while.
Yeah.
And just stand still, stay warm, and smoke your cigarette, and for about a half hour, and then come back inside.
Mm-hmm.
But you're conditioned to it.
Yeah, you got thick skin.
You're built better.
You have evolved.
We're more resilient to cold.
I'm white.
But that you guys can go outside in 10-degree weather with a short sleeve shirt and shorts on.
Yeah, it gets
at 10 degrees. I'm going to wear pants.
In California, it's 65 degrees and they got down jackets on.
Yeah, I got a sweatshirt on. Fucking 2 pairs of socks.
When you were in Dubai, did they have restrictions on hair?
No, they don't. They really don't.
No,
the misnomer is that in Singapore, long hair was kind of a thing. There was apparently at some point on the books they had laws about whether or not you had long hair, you could be thrown in jail. So when I first had to go there, they were like, "Oh shit, you better lay low. You got a target on your back." Well, it's a misnomer. They don't arrest people for having long hair. Where the whole wives' tale came from was back in the 60s and the 70s when long hair was sort of a taboo.
Troublemakers.
When the young kids wanted to grow their hair long because they were influenced by Western culture. If you walked into a bank or something and everybody was in line, a kid with longer hair was kind of viewed as a troublemaker. They just had a stereotype about them. So they would take that kid out of line and make him go to the back and stuff like that. Basically, it was like a discriminatory thing, or they throw him out of the bank.
Alex, Rammstein fan?
Yeah. Yes.
Then good thing we didn't have Amanda on the show because that would have been like
she
3/4 of
earlier.
the show. I saw her. She goes. She already ducked out. But I'm just saying, if she was actually in the thing, it would be all Rammstein for an hour. We could just all go take a beer break and then come back, and it would still be all
go outside
Rammstein.
and have a vape.
We could let you and her could talk for hours on Rammstein.
Yeah, tickets for May this year, but due to COVID, it was all postponed. Yeah. So I've got $1,500 worth of festival and concert tickets just from this year.
Yeah, so I wanted to go. I want to go back over to Europe for a festival so darn bad. What, Tom? Why are you such a giggle puss tonight?
Yeah, he's happy. He lives in Wisconsin.
I think Tom opened up a Playboy for the first time because that's exactly what we did.
Did he find Pornhub?
He finally decided to look up Wrinkle Hub, and this is what happened.
No. So, Alex, what are you going to Italy for? Just to visit?
I'm on vacation for 5 days in Lignano.
Where are you going to go in Italy?
Lignano.
Lignano.
What's the highlight of that area of Italy?
That's up south, right?
Up south? That just is an oxymoron.
That's south. I wanted to say.
Yeah, it's south. Yeah, I think like something
That's it,
like
John,
spring
you're done
break
drinking.
is there.
You guys suck. He knows what I'm talking about. What's over there, Alex? I've never been there. The farthest south I've been is Milan.
Okay, so I guess there's kind of like a spring break thing going on there.
Okay.
And like
That must be down
April,
north.
May.
Tim, Tom, can you just go milk a cow? Can you just go milk a cow? That sounds like fun. Yeah, I see all my cousins now. They're all starting to get a little bit more comfortable going out. So they're also. I can start seeing a lot of them going to. They're all pictures of them at the beach in Palermo and Milan. Well, they're just they've gotten more comfortable, which is kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Most of my family's from Sicily, so I don't know if you ever been to Sicily. Been to Sicily?
Yeah, I've been there.
So see, that's how you're supposed to travel, man. Not like us American kids. I want to go to Disneyland. Fuck Disneyland. I'm gonna go to Europe.
Yeah, but it doesn't probably cost him nearly as much to go to a neighboring European country than it does for us to get on a plane. I mean, hell, it's like
You save up, instead of taking.
Yeah, but see, that's the other thing too, is that if you're on a tourist thing and you're going to Europe, you don't want to go over for a week or 2 weeks and just bounce around. You're going to want to go over there and travel around, so you might as well take advantage of it. And it's very rare that people in America are going to be able to get that much time off consecutively.
Yeah. And in America, you don't have very much vacation days.
No. Well, we do.
Don't have vacation days.
I had 28. I had 28 with 5 carryover, so I could literally. I had almost a month plus that I could use. It's just them saying, "Oh, sure, it's cool if you're gone for 2 weeks." Like you could only take so much at a time that was reasonable for them. So
yeah, that's the problem. Like even when I went to Italy the last time, I had to beg to go for. I said I can't go for 2 weeks. I need those 3-4 extra days. And I basically had to beg my company to give me, which I already had. I had them accumulated. They're like, we can't afford for you to be gone more than 2 weeks. I'm like, dude, I'm going on the other side of the world here. I'm not going to see everything in 2 weeks. I need those extra. And plus, you're losing a day going, and you're losing a day coming back.
Yeah, that's true. So I work in a bank, and I have to go 14 days consecutively, just because of the law in Austria. So I'm not allowed to go less than 14 days.
Yeah. Wow.
See, my boss lets me do whatever the hell I want.
Yeah, see, my cousin in Germany, they take a whole month block off.
Yeah.
It's insane. She's like, she's a hairstylist. She owns her own shop, but she closes the whole shop for a whole month in August. Yeah. And just gone. She goes, no, I'm gone. She comes back to Italy so she could be with family. So she spends 2 weeks in Palermo and then 2 weeks in Calabria. So she can get to see, her whole family while she's here, and then flies back and goes back to work. Man,
that's because other countries in the world actually put a premium on relaxation and having fun.
Relaxation, yeah.
Whereas here, we're all work all the time.
Yeah, what is that? We work to live, or I forget. There's an old saying. It's in Italian, but I can never break it down in English. But it's like we here in America, we work to survive, or I forget how it goes. If it comes to me, I'll remember it. But
I would hope so.
What did Brian blow up? Oh no!
Yeah.
No, I was going to interrupt and say we've got about 30 minutes left.
Yeah.
So do we want to talk about this review of the Sub-Ohm tank that you?
No, we're going to pass that up because I posted a video. They want to see it, they can go see it.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the Matthew Elliott post.
Avail.
Yeah, we're gonna do the Avail here in a second, but let's talk about the. Do I have it here? Where is it?
I don't want this to turn into the best damn travel show.
Yes. Save your money, people. Save your money and go to Europe.
John, is Matthew available to come on and
No, I
explain
sent him a message, but I don't think he's available. But
okay.
I'm just going to go ahead and go over to that page. And
in case Alex doesn't know.
Well, Brian, do you know more about what's going on? I mean, it's basically wants us to just hammer them because we're getting close to the.
Right. So what's going on here, Alex, is that like we're looking to do not we're looking to do. What's happening is that there's going to be a rally on the 5th of September. But before then, what we want to do is tomorrow morning, we want everyone starting at 8 a.m.
Starting tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
We want everybody who lives in the States to be hammering the phone lines to the White House and keep doing that until the 5th.
Oh, that's great.
We want to just keep hammering out, tell them to, keep the vape mail legal, and we want them to have us be able to ship our products to who we want to, because their goal right now is to stop the shipments of these products to people. Like,
yeah, I've heard that. Yeah,
anything to Tim, or Tim can't ship anything to me, or it could come down to where with our country's shipping service, which here it's USPS, it's might come down to the fact that these distros, or say Aspire, Kanger, or what have you, Smock, can't ship to the stores. And if that's the case, then all these people who want these products can't have them. And that's very, very disheartening to a lot of people.
Yes.
Yes. It's very, very disheartening. And, I don't know what's going on with our country. It's not the way to be going. It's the worst route you can ever take.
Yeah, totally agree with you.
Let me update that.
So what did Vaping Legion drum this up?
I don't know if they
I think
did
it was the Alliance.
I think that they want to ensure that we have and show like our country that we're
not taking this laying down.
Look how many people actually use the products. Look how many people actually are calling in. Look how many people are actually trying to do something, and show them like, hey, it's not like 14 people, it's millions of people.
Yeah,
that you are really affecting by making one change.
No, I agree with what they want to do. I was just asking who was the primary force behind the campaign.
More than likely the Legion.
Yeah, I was going to say it sounds like a Legion thing.
They are tied in heavily with the UVA.
Well, the Legion is, yeah, right. All we know is where it came from, and we were asked by Matthew to try to help push this and
get the word out about it.
You're damn right.
Do we have the information to share on the screen?
Yeah, I'm going to put it up there. I'm just updating it.
Yeah.
And come on, Pops, get your technology together.
Should have done this before the show.
Jesus,
piss poor preparation.
Yeah, he does like 14 test videos a day, none of which include this important stuff.
Yeah.
All right, let's copy edit that. Hold on, let's check for spelling errors.
Yeah, I got spelling. It looks good to me.
Starting tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Is there now
for the 8 a.m.
Starting at 8 a.m. All right, so
do I have to put that in there?
And that's Eastern time.
No, but I think what's pertinent here and important to know is that there are a lot of people that are a little apprehensive about doing stuff like this because they're not sure what they're supposed to say, what the content of their message should be on the other side. Like, do they, you kind of get stage fright when the person answers the phone. You know what I mean?
Well, okay. So the comment. So when he puts down comments and switchboard on there, so there's kind of a difference there. So comments is like you call in, you say your piece, you tell them what you want to do.
That is a recording,
right? And the switchboard is basically the person the best way I can describe it
the
is
person
like,
answering the
click,
phone.
click, click, click. Yeah. Directing everyone where to go. And even if you get the switchboard, even if you tell them that this is what you want or reject something, more likely they're not going to pass on the message, but they're going to be able to direct you to where to go to.
Right.
Right, and all you have to
Remember,
say is you are rejecting the bill S-1253.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And we vape,
We vote.
we vote.
My
Keep it short, keep it
Yep.
sweet.
my profile picture is still on that, and will stay that until everything's said and done.
And Fletcher has a very good point.
Where is Fletcher? Oh, I see him.
Another thing too
Jesus.
is that if you have Twitter, Instagram, well, mainly Twitter,
Twitter.
I think it's Twitter, is
Twitter.
that if you have that, do the same thing tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Start tweeting, start telling people that you want to reject, start tagging people.
Hashtag
Reject it all
we
out.
vape, we vote.
Put it all on there. Like, let's not just do the call-in. Let's show everything that what we can do. Like, let's
like last time when
And don't forget Mondays.
no, we're not plugging that one.
he clicked the wrong button, I'm sure.
Last
No,
time
I did that on purpose.
before the previous rally, when mainstream media was saying that a bunch of bots were taking over Twitter, being very pro vaping. Let's do that again.
It wasn't
we
bots.
know it wasn't bots. There were people.
Oh, I should actually bring this up too. This kind of pertains to what we're talking about. There's been news articles lately in the last 24 hours talking about vaping and COVID and so that. Okay,
Bullshit.
I'm just gonna make something clear here. I've read on a lot of stuff. I've watched a lot of the YouTube videos. I watched a lot of the snippets and all that stuff. Here's what it comes down to: is that what they say is that if you vape or smoke or together, you are 7 times more likely to contract that. Okay. But hear me out, is that what they do say is that they don't know why.
It's because you're sharing your fucking mod. Don't share your goddamn mod with people.
What John just said is their conclusion. That is exactly it.
Have they said what the sources are and the who's behind the studies and whatnot?
I've been waiting all day to say this. Your mom.
It was a random study by 13 to 24-year-olds. I don't know where this came from, but it was a study for 13 to 24-year-olds. That's
honestly, if they can't provide the source of the study, fuck them.
Yeah.
But
let me say this right now, guys. Let me get this out, and then you can go back into it, Brian. This isn't the time to say, "Hey, bud, taste this juice. This is amazing."
No.
Okay, just keep that in mind. What's going on? Whether you believe in COVID or you don't, I don't give a shit. But this isn't the time for you to say, "Hey, taste this."
Right.
Oh, this is amazing. You got to taste this. Okay.
Instead of handing them your mod, just be like, "Hey, man, try this."
Put a drop
Hand
on
them
their
the
finger.
fucking bottle.
Put a drop on their finger, whatever.
I agree. Well, that's the thing, is that if you look at people who do share their mods without even thinking about it, they could be people who are wearing masks and all that stuff and taking all proper precautions, but then they don't think twice about sharing something to somebody else, like a drink of pop or a sucker or what have you. And you know, a sucker or a drink could be the same instance, is that you can actually have a higher chance of contracting such disease by sharing yourself with somebody else.
And it's not just Corona. Correct. Don't share things you put in your mouth, people.
Such and such.
That's what she said. No, I'm sorry. I don't have my
It's okay, John.
I use it. You guys want to talk about the what was the other thing?
I've been a little ramped up about the whole study in the last 24 hours.
Couldn't tell.
Avail. Who was the other one? What were we going to talk about? Oh, the PMTAs.
Avail.
Go ahead, Tim. Go. I'm going to let you do it.
Well, I didn't read the entire. I read the article that was. I did read the article. I didn't go any more into depth. There was some clarity that needs to be put.
I hate it when our dads fight.
It's kind of like getting yelled at by your dad.
This is like one of those car rides on a Sunday. Don't make me come back there. Don't make me reach back
Don't make me
there.
pull over.
Alex is breathing on me.
Anyway,
you're gonna get
so-
the back of the hand. You want the
so
back
the
of the
long-
hand?
All right,
Yeah, okay.
back on topic.
Go.
So
Tim.
the long and short of it is, Avail submitted multiple PMTAs to the federal government to get approval to get their juice lines to go through. What the article doesn't, and what was stated is that they did get PMTA acceptance and approval.
Approval.
I'm going to clarify that even further beyond this, because that doesn't mean that, oh, great, as long as everybody gets through the PMTA process, we get to keep our flavors or whatever, right? It doesn't, that this article is encouraging at best.
Yeah.
So what I would say is they got their approvals. What was not revealed was what flavors or what mixes were approved. We don't know if it was menthol flavors. We don't know if they were mixed berry flavors. We don't know the content of
tobacco, for all we know.
It could have been it could have just been a plain old tobacco. We don't really know the details of that. But they do intend on submitting more PMTAs to follow. They're not done submitting their forms.
Yeah.
But the long and short of it is that it's encouraging in the sense that they are able to get something through the approval process. Where this sort of stalls and could take some time is that now it has to, because in the PMTA form, the companies submitting them have to show science, or at least back up their claim that this e-liquid or whatever meets a particular scientific standard and doesn't cause harm to the general public. So they submitted that form. The FDA accepted the form and approved it, but that doesn't mean that their flavors get to go out on the shelves and open the door wide. Now what happens is now their product gets put to the test. And so they're going to have to, now their product is going to be tested to make sure that the science that they claim is factual. I don't know how, I guess you could say, well, if it has something in it that could be inherently bad for general consumption or public consumption, then the science fails. But if it meets a particular standard, then they would then get full approval. Where we're all seeing this as a positive, because John brought up a very good point, and I'll get to that. I'll allude to that at the end, is that this could potentially be the precedent that we're all waiting for here in America, right? Because everyone keeps saying, oh, it's the PMTA is going to take vaping down forever. It's just going to wipe it out anyway. Even if they take away the flavors, the PMTA is our end all be all, because we have no precedent right now. We have nothing to say that we meet a certain standard from before a certain date. So if now that they've been approved, if their science gets validated, then that certainly could be the open door or the precedent required to encourage people to get these PMTAs in so that other companies can stay afloat and have their products out on the shelf. That's the encouraging part about it. Doesn't mean that it's over. Doesn't mean that flavors are saved. It just means that at least someone got their foot in the door, and it's encouraging and it's a step in the right direction. Where the point that John highlighted that was important to bring up is that Avail is owned by Austria, which is effectively big tobacco. But what does that really mean? Does that mean that big tobacco is going to save the day? Maybe in this case it does, in some sense of the word, but it's because they have the money to push through on these PMT. Right, they've got the cash to back up and get their products through. So if it does come out on the other end, money talks, bullshit walks, right? So, I mean, if you get the precedent, are the smaller little e-liquid companies going to be able to meet that mark? Are they going to be able to pay the money it's going to take to get these things all the way through the process? And that, that's...
Well, I don't know if Alex really understands like how everything's working here comparatively to there.
It's pretty similar. I just wanted to say, you know, we talked before. There are a lot of brands that we don't have in Austria because of the regulations, because everything is so strict and so precise, and you have to go under those regulations and those tests if your product is pure and scientifically correct. So I think on the other hand, if those e-liquid brands go under this test of their products, maybe it opens up for the European market even more, so that we can have those liquids as well.
I never thought about that, but that is true, because if the FDA approves a product, that's pretty much giving a green light to a lot of other countries to say, okay, the FDA has approved this product, and well, that could really flood the market, huh, for the big tobacco.
Yeah, I mean, my thought process.
I never thought about it globally. I'm sorry, I just never dawned on me globally how our FDA would affect consumers worldwide.
Well, the reason why I asked that is because we always refer to the study by the UK all the time.
Yeah, we do.
The 95% safer than a cigarette. We refer to that all the time by the College of Physicians. We would use that all the time here in our arguments all the time, and we are always told that we aren't Europe. This can't be used here. And so, like, but why? You know what I mean? Like, why not? Why can't it be? If you guys are going to be possibly using our models later on, why can't we use your models currently?
Right. I mean,
or studies currently. I should say.
There's no difference between our lungs and like Alex's lungs over in Austria.
Yeah,
absolutely.
True.
They do the same damn job. So why can't we use the same studies and information?
Well, because you got a funded organization that's going to automatically come out and oppose it and say that they have different, that they disagree with that particular science. I mean, that was evident in a lot of the hearings that were in front of the Congress. You know,
and that's because of our mentality of we are the best country in the world, when in actuality, in a lot of the areas, we are not.
Yes, no. I agree with you on the you know, our pompous stance or whatever. That might be part of it, but I also think that it also comes back down to the fact that we all have different standards and stuff like that. So I mean, you know, the government wants to hear what they want to hear, and so they're gonna and effectively too. The other thing too is in Europe, in a lot of different countries in Europe, and I think this has something to do with it, is that the healthcare system is structured in a totally different manner, right?
Yeah.
So
that's true.
So here, we're not really in the business, or at least like the big pharma is not, and doctors are in each their bedfellows, right? So they're not in the business of wanting to try to promote healthier and safer products. They want to keep people on high-priced medications and drugs and therapies.
They're in the business to make money, not to help people.
Right. Because if you give somebody something that sort of subverts their process, then it takes money out of their pocket, and they don't like that. Right.
So Alex, do you guys use like any of our models for your regulations?
I think it's the other way around. So I think America is adopting a lot of ways that we are regulating our products. So I think that Europe was one of the first like countries or places where the regulations were really strict. And I think many countries are adapting from Europe.
Well, Europe is one of the oldest countries in the world too.
Yeah,
which helps.
True. The only thing that I am worried about them is basically, he's brought it up, what's going on there and throughout Europe and throughout the UK, and that's what I'm worried about here. Not that we are going to be limited to these regulations. If that's what it's going to take, I'm fine with that. The thing that I am most worried about is each state coming up with their own set of rules, like these countries are. So that's where I'm worried because, okay, we've all can agree. If I can only buy a 30 ml bottle, all right, you know what? I'm cool with that. Whatever.
As long as I can still get my flavors, I don't care what size the bottle is.
But if
totally agree.
If I'm okay to buy a 30 ml bottle in California, but Washington says, you know what? No, you can't have it. We're not going to, you can only buy 10 ml bottle. I mean, that's what I'm worried about.
It's got to be a universal.
It has to be a federal law. But then again, that's the way our system is set up. Each state is going to be able to set their own guidelines for these regulations. So some states, like let's just take some of the states that already pushed these bans through.
Like California?
No, California hasn't. Washington, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts. Who else is jumped already? Who else? I think those are the four,
New
right?
Jersey.
Yeah, I said Jersey.
Oh,
yeah. Now, what's stopping them saying "fuck you, FDA"? We don't care.
Nothing.
We're still going to ban it. And
Nothing.
so, but the rest of the country can get e-juice.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if Alex really knows how it really
That's what
works here.
scares me. That's
We
what
have
scares me.
federal laws and then we have state laws. So basically,
it's the same for us. So we've got the laws from the EU, and then we've got the laws from each country per se.
Okay.
So your country laws, Europe is pretty similar to America.
That's what I'm worried about is the variance of those laws.
We have county and city laws too.
Yeah, we have county and city as well. So that doesn't stop my city from saying, you know what, we don't want it here. We don't care. We don't care. And
it's pretty much the same here. So
yeah, that's the part of it that really scares me because that's.
So here's a random question: is that, let's say, just
your mom,
for random question's sake and argumentative sake, is that what if we as the U.S. we adopted what his model is right now?
I'll take it.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, what if we had that, and like the only tax that we had on that was on the nicotine itself?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, like, I don't think it's a horrible idea. However, I do think that it could restrain some liquid manufacturers to fight more for their flavors. It could restrict them, particularly how things are bottled and how things are distributed out. Mailing is going to be completely different. Like, there's going to be a big shakeup, but I don't think that model is completely horrible though either. Like, it does introduce people to mixing their own stuff. It introduces the consumer.
You might get the Greenpeace people upset though.
Yeah,
it's not completely horrible, but there are some aspects like no online shops, which are pretty much unrealistic in America, in my opinion.
That's not good. Yeah, that's
not going to work. Like, no advertisements for vapes.
Well, I am surprised that even applies there because there are probably a lot of rural areas where some of those people, in Austria can't get to a town that has a vape shop, and probably the only way.
True.
Yep.
Hell, I can't.
We don't care about you. You're in the middle of the country. Man. You're in the middle of the country. Nobody cares. Just make the cheese. That's all we want.
Are you done?
Well, first of all, he's not in the middle of the country. He's up by.
Yeah, he's pretty close. Close enough.
I'm in the best region of the U.S.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, listen.
We got 2 minutes, boys and girls. This is always the funnest part of the show.
Tim, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Do you play your current game in Kurosawa mode?
What the hell is that?
What the hell? Are you bringing up fucking video games on a vape show?
Are you talking about Ghost of Tsushima?
Yes.
I'm gonna buy a ticket.
Are you talking about in the black and white mode?
I believe it's black and white in Japanese with English subtitles.
Nope, I'm lazy. I play it in full blown color.
What the hell's happening to my show?
John, you have a mute button, don't you?
Fluent English with an accent.
Well, hey, last night I was playing Rocket League and I scored 6 goals. No, we're not talking that. You know what? Just because you pissed me off, Tom, you go first. I was
All right.
going to let you have some opportunity to take some input from everybody on the show, but
All
you
right.
get to go first now.
Okay.
Say your goodbyes.
First of all, John, fuck
Yeah.
off, you cranky old bastard.
That's
Go
good.
drink some Inshore.
I will.
Brian, good to see you all wound up again. Great. Alex, thanks for being here. And whatever the hell Tim's going to say.
Whatever Tim's going to say.
What a cheater.
Yeah, cheater.
I'll go next.
Go ahead, Mr. Brian.
I really appreciate Alex coming on. It kind of gives
Awesome.
people
Awesome,
more
man.
of an insight to how things are going on in the places, and that's greatly appreciated. The insight is great to understand like inner workings of everything else and what could possibly happen or might happen to other things too. Thank everyone for watching. It's always a great show. It's
the
for
best
everybody.
damn vape show,
Best
Brian.
damn Dave show.
It's
Thank
up
you.
top here if you can't read it.
And below. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Just one
Yeah,
I think he's
clarity.
done.
I appreciate it.
All right, he's done. I'm going to go next. Alex, thank you. Thank you for coming on. Everybody that's watching, this is how easy it is. Look how comfortable he looks. Look, he's comfortable.
Yeah,
and
sure.
this man, it is now officially what time?
5 a.m.
5 a.m. 5 a.m. He stayed up all night with us. Well, 2
Yeah.
hours.
Sun's getting ready.
So you're on vacation though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
even if he,
Okay. So he's got plenty of time to sleep.
Yeah.
Not a big
So, it's not that hard. Come on, tell us your story. We would love to have more people from the UK and everywhere, everywhere that
And
we
Europe,
have it.
Not just
in
for
Europe,
LA.
all over Australia. I know we'll work time schedules with everybody, but it was fun having you, Alex, and hearing your story, your journey, and getting to understand how things work there, and hopefully. Things don't change there when things change here. That's one of the things I know and concerned. Even my cousins that vape there, they kind of paying attention to what's going on over here as well, because Italy is still kind of one of those countries that is not fully accepted vaping. Thank you to these three gentlemen over here, Tim, Tom, and Brian.
we actually had somebody on from Germany a few weeks ago.
Yes, we had a builder. We had the builder from Germany. Yeah,
Yeah, it's great.
it was great. I'm sure he was a Rammstein fan too. Dos.
Okay,
Stop.
only-
Stop.
Well,
Just stop.
And
you've ever had?
thank you to all the viewers. Love you guys. Always appreciate you guys. And I'm going to throw it to our resident rocker, Mr. Tim there. Tim,
Yes.
do it right, Tim. Do it right.
I'll try to bring it home there for you,
time
Johnny
out.
boy.
Time out. You're not next. Alex, you're next. I'm sorry.
I gotta go.
I want Tim to go last. Tim's going to go last.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. It was a pleasure talking to you guys and exchanging knowledge. It was really fun and a great time. Thanks for having me.
We loved having you, man. It was awesome. All right, Tim, go ahead.
Are you sure you don't want anybody else to go before Tim?
No, I wanted Tim last, man.
How am I gonna follow that act?
You got it. You got it. Tim, I think Tim writes his stuff down.
I don't. It comes right. It rolls right off the tongue. I was a front man
He
for
speaks from the
several
heart.
years in a band. Yeah.
And being, the son of a teacher, so he's ready to go.
Yeah. Now, I just want to say to everybody who happens to watch the show, first off and foremost, the fight never ends, right? So we got to, you got to stay positive. We got to keep moving forward. Primarily, I want to say thank you to Alex for coming on the show. It's been awesome to have you here. You're another shining example of how this exemplifies how much of a family we are, right? So we might all come from different walks of life. We might all have different backgrounds. We might all have our own success and failure stories, whatever it's worth. But the fact of the matter is that we have one thing in common that unites us all, and that is a goal of pursuing a healthier alternative to smoking and getting away from those stinkies, and a passion and a hobby and something that we believe in. And I think that just only bolsters the idea that we need to keep the fight going, right? So if you have opportunities to pick up the phone and plaster the White House, if you have opportunities to support CASA and follow up on calls to action, take the little steps, even if you can't physically be in another place at another time because you have responsibilities. We understand that, but every little bit helps from everybody who's willing to put forth that good old, college try, right? Because we have something that's at stake here, right? And we don't want them to take it away from us. So I think that's the overlying theme and my message. And then beyond that, I just want to say, keep the questions coming. Don't be shy. Reach out. A lot of us are here to help you. And ultimately, of course, John's pointing to the information. John, can you post that on the Example Box page?
Yes, I will.
So people will have that, because people may not watch the video back. But beyond that, that's all I got. That's me tonight, kids. Vape on, vape strong.
Hey, Tim, don't forget to stick around after the show.
Yeah,
I will.
One thing with kind of sidelines with what Tim said is that with any of the big rallies that we have here,
take his thunder. You trying to take his thunder?
Not take it.
All right,
just helping with is that any of the rallies and stuff that we have here, we do strongly encourage anybody from outside the U.S. come to them, come with us to them.
Vacation in Washington D.C.
Come here. If you show us you're coming here for stuff, we can try to do what we can to help you guys with your stuff too at the same time.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it, boys. Thank you again, everybody. I will post the phone numbers on the Example Box page and on YouTube starting tomorrow morning, guys. Hammer those 2 numbers. If you can't get through, just try the next one. Just go back and forth. Go back and forth.
Pretend you want to be caller number 25 on your favorite radio show, and you want to win them damn tickets.
They're giving a pool away here in Modesto.
Right.
Put that shit on speed dial, folks.
And call and keep it short, keep it sweet. Let them know you vape. Let them know you vote. And let them know that absolutely fucking no on S1253. Peace out. Love you guys. Catch you on the next show. Out.